Welcome back. This is Mission and Minister Sylvester. I'm thrilled and kicking to introduce you to the KI Saint. We will be very grateful entertaining you with a very piece of information that is knowledge based and spiritual insight into creation. And I would like to also dedicate this to my very self, who is Sylvester Kwesibekwe, born on the 24th, 26th, in that range. I just want to tell you something very important about this very special birth and breath. So we communicate birth and breath. So simply talking about breath and where breath will be or the future of breath. Now, breath and the breath or life will also contain many other information, but we'll be very swift and summarize it right here as it is the era of this very particular kingdom. And this I happen to be one of the great ones who were born or just deleted from any other kingdom. Now we delete any unclean spirit and unfaithfulness. Whoever it is and whatever spirit that it is have been very unfaithful, let the demon and devils of the bottomless pit and pit of hell, let them be broken and taken out of this place. For I break away from any unclean spirit who claim to be what and not having the power to control themselves. Now I decree and declare and decree of this supernatural word and that the word that comes with the Lord, that any blindness I cast you by just thunder, lightning, strength, authority of the forces and extraterrestrial world, altars of the terrestrial world, and we break up from any even broken code and chain and bonds, any covenant situation unto the gods of shrines and idols. We break up from you. I am a virgin. By my authority as a virgin and legal single life that I live, I break away from any unclean spirit, for they give no life. The life is with us. It's not with any demon or idol or deity. They claim they are horror, yet I made it, and I command it, according to the obedience of the word and the power of the demonic spirit that I can use. Any of them, by their power, I command it back to them. Any suffering that they may attach with, I break forth and I break the chain, and that this world is at end. So that end will be, you don't know your next stage and stage of life. And I decree, if I be the person alone who made it without any angel talking to me, without any false deity, without any dwarf talking to me, without anybody showing me anywhere, without any force taking me anywhere in the dreams and in my sleep, other than they're killing us every night or every day, then I command you, if it is true, that you fail, because I'm the leader and archangel of myself. Born not unto your suffering. I have nobody born nor a pay. I was born single, alone. This is alone. This is Aquarian, the 24th birth, Sunday midnight. Whether you came as Lucifer, whether you came as morning bright star, whether you came as Satan, as a set on, whether you came as Eden, whether you came as Ida, and I command you now. This is my word. Whether I came as the devil, I hate what I hate. I came all greatest one as one. Nobody separated from this can be as one of us. Nobody operating in any other place, if that doesn't communicate here, can be as one of myself, seated here right here before him and presented these very powers. And I command, if the hearing of the spirit and powers of their ringing is that they can hear, and I command the water, air, and airways and air force of it, then let the flight of my Lord, who goes up and comes down, and spiritually great authority is given. That Aquarian is the age, and that is the return of the kings and the princesses. That is the archangels. That the Lord himself descend with the shout and the voice of an archangel. Here is my own word, myself. If you want to take a look at myself in the image of every image of generations, you can find it all with one person. Not that I have any system that changes my face. This is one person transforming daily. If you don't know transfiguration and transformation, this is one of them. To know it with one flesh, having every other thing that you don't see right before us. Now, this is the summary. Let's go straight with our situation. Now, I would like to also introduce this part of the session of Aquarius, happening to be one of the greatest that if you really learn, the Bible is actually made up of horoscopes, whatever, and astrology. What do you mean astrology? We are talking about astral world, astral system, heavenly bodies. As the Bible cannot tell you even the very stance that they want to say they hold. As a kingdom, every one of them talking about a star. But when you go working about the star or the world or the planet or exploration taking place, then they begin to tell you something else. So it is the work of the devil. It's the work of the witches and wizards. Nobody has nothing else. Whatever it is, don't focus on them. Their God himself, or whatever they call the devil or the deities, Every individual creature or creation had in themselves the liar. This is the return. As the Lord predestined his return will be with a beauty. Now you're going to see this. Summarize down and stay tuned. This very important part of the preamble as a doctor of this situation. What we say is doctor, the doctrine. That is the doctrine. So not necessarily somebody putting in strings or things in you, but it's beyond that. Actually, if you are a spirit, you know that they can inject you right now. Are you changed right now? You can wear different things now. I cannot wear you if you are not the best of this very conversation. So Aquarian, actually, they are special people the Lord himself predestined. Art thou that greatest to listen, if wisdom comes and knowledge increases. This is it. A generation you never thought would ever suffer it. Many generations and millennia. You have never thought of it. And it happens. All this is in the Bible. That the Bible and the Samaritan woman with the well, and then the character of him that was representing the act of Mizraim or Miriam, all of that. In that very situation, having asked for water from a well of a lady, this is the whole thing they're showing you. That the Lord says it will never fail. Here is the word. Aquarius, actually, they are people born in January 20th range to February 18th in that order. So this birth is only between 20th of January to 18th of February. This is where the very 13th month or whatever month it is hidden. Now, it's not about it hidden, but I'm telling you, it is just beyond you. So if you are not the one who came with this, that you will tell somebody's missing. Would you not know one thing? The astral calculation was 28 days in a month. Now, 28 days. How about the other numbers that you want to claim is hidden? Then it's even more than the 13 months. Because a month have been made 31 days, 30 days, 29, even 32. If you don't know it, I'm telling you. Here it is. Here it is. Where would you put or fix all these numbers? So if people are not really up to the level the Lord is expecting, here you never do it. Now let's go straight. Now this is a part. We're going to look at this very special part. So we are actually talking about Aquarian or Aquarius. Now, with this very name Aquarius, it simply means what? The bearer of life or life bearer or water bearer or the bringer of life. And when Aquarian come, it's going to be what? The Lord who gave them the messages or the info or the illusions or the visions that people heard as prophets or devils. Whereas you only have to listen to anybody that is between this conversation of spirituality and authority of frequencies that is highlighted. That I cannot hear the Lord say a word. I cannot see him say something. But with my terrestrial or my vision light, which is the vision of the light or eye, that we want to say is eye, then the IT is working. And then the wave, the tones, the frequency, all of it, that is the wavelength calculation. This is how we understand things. We don't understand things the way you hear God say. That is a liar. So that if I understand things, it's better than myself. How it is in us as angels, so it is in the giving of reports and angels. That I can command, instruct, and then the angels will do it. Not be with how you understand things. Regardless of what your power is, you are not born of my kingdom. Except the Lord said, you are the beautiful one that he is welcoming. Now, in the book of Malachi, what is the Lord said is that which you can reward to him, the best of your gathering, the first fruit, whether it's human being, your gardens or fields, every aspect of life. That's what you need. All these numbers and code and numbers and frequency and letters here, they represent the Lord. And you can find all this as I'm your guide right now. And you can know very well if life is a lottery, we stake or we make it happen. Now, if I have to put anything into the very universe, then the earth is also as an example of the universe. As you cannot call you yourself human being, commonly a heaven or a God. You can only do this when you are able to make sure the things that the Lord lead or guide you through, you are able to make it. And you even, me, I won't call myself a God. But I can tell you the definition of what we say is a God. Because it's not even excellent to say God. It is another word as God. All these are difference of the name and where the things happen. Garden of Eden, and then you have the that we just have many things. Now, we won't waste time. So talking about knowledge, where the Bible in the book of Daniel says for knowledge shall increase, who do you expect to bring the knowledge? Except it comes from the Lord. Because there's no knowledge apart from the heaven sending down here their own people to tell what is new. And nobody even tells us what we have to go and do. We only come in and we know what we have to do. That's the difference. Not that God is saying it. No. How do you think God is guiding the business or the sword or the deity is having to? No. It is beyond what he should be saying when it comes to myself. I have many things to tell. Not when the God is talking. I can talk and it's happening not about God talking. Because I'm the one with free spirit and given authority, independence. Now let's take our very main section with the very illustrations if I have any, or we just go straight to the presentation material for this summary. And this is Aquarian. Look at one person on the screen. If you there try to understand birds, then why not the person who is on the screen? Why not look for him? Why not look for him? If the Lord be truly your strength or life bringer or rain, what do you expect to be wealth? This is wealth calculation, wealth creation, and all of that. What do you think is this when you see the prince of that very heaven? Or you thought it's a joke? I tell you, verily, I have nothing to joke with. Because I tell you, the Lord does not forget sin. For love is the end of every generation and beginning of every generation. That is the finest of every happening. That if you were told the perfect one, you know that's why we're going to be talking about the immaculate. Immaculate is the return of Christ's message. That the perfect one. That is why the word immaculate as a name is the name, not Emmanuel. Now, the word Emmanuel wasn't a name. Actually, you want to call it a name. But what do I mean if it wasn't a name? Let me show you. Where the people have lived in Egypt. In Egypt, they have towns named after, the squares and all of that, which have Menu or Manu. All these things were given over there. So when they begin to tell you Imam, then I told you the image is I am age. So when the I am age comes, that is the Lord Himself return, and you are seeing the reality and visual everything. Showing life. Now that is image is simply I am age. All these are the situation as you see on the computer monitor, and that when you turn on the computer monitor, it's simply you will have at the right corner or the left corner, wherever it's placed, that A, or you want to say EA. That is Environmental Agency. You want to say that is it. But in reality, what it reminds of the white man is this, or the creature of that is air. That's the name of a god. That is a name of a god. So when air is known, then he's functioning in an area of environment and all other things. That's why his name is reminded. It's as a sticker you have to always see and salute before you get to the gateway. That's what I can tell you now. I don't know better than just doing it live before us. Who can be of this showing pictures of one person? Taking myself a picture, there you can see who you don't know. As you would only find this on the screen. Would you not love it when you are with such a person? Teaching or guiding the knowledge, other than telling somebody or somebody telling you somebody says he is like that, he's like that. Where? You want to rush. Here is about 30 minutes. If you fail to listen, I don't think I have any challenge or I don't have any problem. That's what I can simply say. All this have been made available. Do you see this? This is in Konya. On this side here, where I was born, the temple, where we have the temple. And in Egypt, we have the taps and the tapas, all of that. So it's simply, you want to know, then get to learn. I don't think I'm telling you about your religion or whatever. But what makes the world, and that will make it and control it, is what I'm talking about. That is the best I can offer you right now. Now take a look. As the Lord is not a joke. He's never a joke. Now we're going to display on this very... Look, and in Konya, where I was really raised or where I descend, you see the kind of pictures I will be taking this. They are gold. There is a special light. That special light over there is this. That gives a special evening light. And they, you would have to know, this is special, and that I've always had on different colors. So I take on the color as it will be given, or the scheme right there. I don't think I make up with any portion or whatever. Now look at the clouds right there. Look at all this. Where would you say you ever count this? Seeing it live before you. Why am I showing it? Because Aquarius is of the beauty and independence. So if a country ever gain independence, it means the Aquarian influence the country's well-being. Not any God or any religion that have made it or fought for you or through politics. Never true. It is the Lord that is working that in a secret or treasures that you don't know. So watch carefully now. Now I can tell it because it's 15 minutes, which is the 6. So now take a look. Here the best. I'm going to have it. Now we're going to look at a straight way where we say, what is Aquarian or what is Aquarius or Aquarius? As is what? What is life bringer or what is water bearer? This is simply what we're saying. So water bearer or life bringer. And then in the Bible, they talk of life, heaven, vineyard, all of that. So now watch carefully. If in the 12 zodiac signs, which you want to say is the 12 months, and the third one we say is hidden, except the Lord revealed. He told you, right? Except he show you where he himself is hidden. As he is only between love. The Lord is there is between love. So where he the Lord is, that is where the frequency of love exists to be what? High. So in Aquarius, we have what? A human being or an angel, completely life and spirit. So when you have an angel, it is spirit ministry. And that's what makes what you want to say is the God or the force or the great field, the strength. Now watch carefully. So Aquarius is the 11th zodiac sign representing individual born between approximately January 20th in the range throughout to what? 18th February. Now, you would be very close to this understanding that the word of Aquarius is very special. Now, watch carefully. That it's a fixed earth symbol or signature or signs. What does it mean? It means that when you see an Aquarian, air will definitely blow. And the Lord told you he made his own what? He made his own air and flame of fire. That when you combine this element or his presence, it makes it rain. That is why ever since I report on this land, from the very day I touched down, it has been raining and fruit and gardens have always been. And all that your opposite or opponent want to say you do is you lose that best which you have. And unfortunately, I'm not the best to you, but I'm the best for myself. And that the best is for the kingdom, which is kingdom. I'm originally born prince. So I don't think it's a name given by somebody chosen or an ex trying to show me what. Now I got it already. Now watch carefully again. And it goes on to say that this known for its progressive humanitarian, that if you ever rise in any action, here is a word, humanitarian. It is compulsory. That is the character of the spirit. That whatever makes you feel you have to give life is because you know what is life. That's why you give life. It's not somebody who prays you or wants you to do. Now, if you are not fortunate to be a part of this kind of spiritual world, then you must be taught of this person. Then you have direct spirit, and then you do it. And he knows what you've done will be also rewarding. Now look at it carefully. That the humanitarian and innovative. So innovative. Why I say innovative unless I tell you what it is. So innovative and then nurture. What is nature about this? Look at what I'm doing. I told you that I'm going to take this straight in a very special way. That Aquarius is often associated with what? With the water bearer. Now, you watch out carefully that in the book of Malachi, when it says you test your faith through an archangel called Malach. Archangel called Malach. That is the Malach. The archangel that they tell is Angel Michael, all of that, that's his same connection to Malach. That is Angel Malach. That is that when you test your faith through the 3 verse 10 and all of that, with your favorite prayer on it and giving, to test and see if truly what you're doing is of spirit, then they said they're going to open a window of heaven unto you that you have a room not enough to receive that which you can. Now, of course, as it just went recently, just about a few days ago, and then flooded even the high tension to that level of the brink of a whole story building. What do you say it is? This is the kind of thing he said there's no room enough to receive. And that is the spirit pouring out life unto you or watering your vineyard. If you know what a vineyard is and you invest so much and you understand this later. Now watch carefully, as Aquarian is what symbolizing its role as a bringer of life and progress. So where they feel like it's not going to work or it's not going to fix out something, there I tell you, I am more strong in that area. Why? It is my own engineering, not what you think. It is my own world, and I tell you what we need in the world. It's a kingdom that I tell you what a king needs, or that which the maker of that kingdom is. Well, now what characteristics of what Aquarius? Now it's very important that for a country to be independent, except you have the freedom fighters or liberated, that is the Lord Himself sending His own soldiers or archangels to come and what liberate for you. You cannot have any independence if there is no such a justice with the weapons and spirituality fighting it. Now, it is what? Independent and free spirited. So, because of this, we live elsewhere or we like to distance ourselves and do things. In that course, at the moment, we would say we are doing something very important, something very what? In a pensive mood. That's what an act you call pensive. Like, I may be thinking nothing, but I am just focus on something and then probably seeing light or sketching something with connect with the Lord. With, of course, you are not born of it, so you don't see the difference of energy and spirit. Now you cannot call a God that you and I we have a God. There's no God like that. There's no such God. When you are the one who came to bring the life or send the life, I will show you what the difference is. The air is working already. Water is working already. Things are working out. So you don't need any God. When you say God, is general in the whole world. Anything that is represented by rock, stone, engraven thing, they are all saying is God. So when you say God, already is corruption. That is already corruption. It means many things with one person and you don't even know which one you call. And just saying the word God is not a name. It's just a code representing those names. So in Aquarian, it says what? Value individuality. Who is an individual? Like a person, personality, traits, all of that. And freedom. That is what? Free dominion. Often, again, we say often. So I told you that of 10. That is why they said dividing your money, your wealth, or whatever into 10 parts, and one part is given to the Lord. That is the word often. So it means you do it as always, not until we tell you don't do it, or today it's okay. Like that. Then you understand the word often. That means of 10. It means that from counting to 0, like 0 to 10 or 0 to 9. There you have 1 0 again, repeat. That is why it shows you the word has ended right there and begins a new world. And all this represents very deep code and understanding. That is on and then off and when to on and when to switch off. Now watch carefully, that is challenging societal norms. Now, you have many other people setting up norms or things based on cultural basis and all of that, telling you the Lord said, but that doesn't mean really the Lord says. It may be a different spirit or under the Lord, it's a kind of spirit or a fallen spirit of the Lord. That you want to say, when we term the word as foreign, it means the thing fallen from heaven to this low. It's like a star shooting down or a star or an asteroid shooting across. And you see which direction it's going, that's where it's falling. And in that act, they call it also describe it's foreign. And for what? That symbol of anything in heaven or from heaven is typically, as they call it, rain. For the rain. It means for the what? For the life. For the ones who have life. For the ones giving life. They are the ones who see like this shoot. Well, so when that thing shoot, that represents also the G. That's how it is in the universe. Because it doesn't just go straight. At a point, it will burn, or as it shoots, it's definitely going to land on something. So that it goes on and conventions. So while you know something or understand it, then you convert it to something, or you have many reasons to change from one thing to the other. And now, in a way that I told you, and forward thinking. Now, for the what? For the thin king, we have a king that you don't regard as the strongest, like you want to say the Dawu and the Goliath. That's the thing. To just really understand that it happens. Now, in this case, it says, they are visionary and driven as what? As a desire, as it for a better future. A desire for better future. And often again, exploring or exploring. So the ones who came exploring rings, he blew the trumpet. So exploring actually won't be as it is in the dictionary or as you think you read or you know, or your first degree or first class upper, it doesn't really make anything here. Because it does really show that I am saying this visionary, but you don't know what visionary is. Until we put right there for you to know. And for what? Exploring, as we ring for what? New idea. It's like when I pick up the cell phone and I call you, it means I need something from you. Something very important, playing a crucial role. And this is the right flight of the Lord, showing up there the aeroplane that I've done so well my work and I can't fail. I can never fail because what is failure? When I work and it rains. Well, how do you describe it? Is that a failure? I don't think so. Now, in humanitarianism, we are taking the words that have been used under what? The very characteristics. Now, humanitarian and compassionate. Why do you say that the word describe it, and in the Bible you hear all this and then you deny the one who came down to show you? Are you the one doing it on my behalf? Or you just want to say the Lord is the one doing it? Now watch carefully. The Aquarians, or we the world end, or Aquarian, we who determine when the world ends, is that you should understand what the Lord predestined. What is predestined? It means destiny already in advance. That I'm in the kingdom before telling you. I stand here and I watch and I know what will happen or what is at the end. It means what you don't know from the beginning, I know it. It means what you have denied, I have it already. Now, with Aquarians have a deep concern for the well-being of humanity and are often drawn toward causes that promote social justice and equality. Do you say that? So to have justice prevail, except the Aquarian or the Lord himself send his own down to your place. That anybody that shall rise in any angle, any area, in any religion is actually led by an angel. You may not have seen, or you may not just see. Yet the Lord sometimes will communicate through your dreams. I'm saying that's the way you see it. Now you can perceive that being there or somebody carry you there. And that equality. So when justice prevails, you will know that every righteous person or reserved person is why you have to make a war. You make a war to, just make it a war to liberate or to get them up. You separate them from the wrongs and you command the wrongs to that which the Lord instructs you. You cannot abuse the word and say Christ or somebody or Chief X say this and that. No. What did he also say after his ministry? He had left also behind prophecy. That's why they need a worker. They are not saying who knows Genesis. Who even received Genesis before they wrote it down for you to say you have a business? You to what have you received of the Lord? Write it and let's see. And come and work. As for you, they didn't even ask you or charge you to write. They just ask you what area you are called. Just remain there. And very well, it goes on like that. So to say you are a judge, you really under the Aquarian. That is the Lord himself. So to say he taught you or he trained you. Now for reality, logical. It means you have to reason. And logical is the Aquarian, and rational is Aquarian. What is rational? At the very best is of the Lord himself, so he gave himself the rational. That you are probably irrational until he converts you by his own spirit. And you know very hard how hard sometimes or difficult it will be to say you are already a human being and they are converting you back to another form or creature you are supposed to be, which is spiritual. And it takes more spiritual, difficult journey. Or that you see yourself being cut off or cut in flesh, and then they merge it or they join, and you can see it live, not in a dream. Well, that's okay. And very well, that this leads to what? The Aquarians, or with the Aquarians, or with the light bringers, or water bearers, that we are what? Known for our analytical minds and ability to what? To approach situation with objectives. That means that before we step or walk close to you, we already have a fancy, we have something we have to do. We have a deliverance or a special healing. It means we have a reason. That reason is why we approach you, and you don't have the right to even what? Stay by without knowledge. That when we come around you, it means something is happening. When we draw near, we have the right to draw near, because no God can say we must be hindered for the enemy to rather come to you. That means you don't know even the beauty of the Lord. If I want to show you the beauty that I found all the time, daily, I tell you, my channel will only be what? Now of women, as you want to talk. How many women do you even see on my channel? But I show you all the places that the women gather. Yes, because I get my things carried into region to region and all of that. Now, very well. So the objectives are what? Very important. That is why you probably live in or you met us. The objectives, you have some kind of what? Objectives. There are things people have what? Rejected you from, and you need answers to it. There are things you actually hold as main point or key areas for your growth. And that's where the Lord needs somebody to what? Work on. And that is it, the eccentric and unique. Now, who are the eccentric and unique? Aquarians have what? A distinctive style and often what? Embrace unconventional hobbies and interests. Now, we can do things that you think is impossible. That is all that it means. That is also based on interest and why you invest in something, and we say, let it go on. Let it go on, even though it looks impossible, but let it happen. Then we will be with you to show you how it is done. And I don't think I'll tell you about anybody's God. Where this time, it is myself and my kingdom. And then when we talk about my kingdom, that casts around everything in the world. Now look at this word. Look at this very special word. Now the most important or the most prominent myth associated with the Aquarius constellation is that of what? We mentioned this now. This time around, you're going to know that the Garden of Eden. Now, watch carefully this word. It said Ganim Eden. Ganim Eden. And it's of what? In the Garden of Eden, they told you what? They created somebody very beautiful, and the place looks so beautiful. And everything is so beautiful. So here it is. So that Aquarius is the one telling you what he needs. That is the Garden of Eden again before you. I say you don't know it. And you go to those churches and gatherings, and you will be told loudness of amplifier. Sometimes the kind of speaker you sit by is bigger than what? Your house. And it is vibrating you, getting you maybe sickness or healing. It's either you are getting what? Answers to it, or you are being disturbed. Now, of a beautiful what? A beautiful Trojan. You see where the January came? The word Jan. I told you that you don't just say January, but the word Trojan, the Trojan is right there. And on computer, you say they design some software as what? You know, they will tell the computer this and that. But you thought it really means that. It's just an opposite to show you who can hack or hijack you. Like you were told the Prince of Persia had heard what? Captive Gabriel. All of that. This is the news. That's what simply it means to say what I mentioned. Somebody hijack you means they withhold you or withdraw you from your action or your focal point and give you extra busy schedule, things you are not supposed to answer, then you are answering. Now you become what? Captive under their custody or custodians. Well, very well. Then it says what? So it's what? A beautiful person. Now, what do you not see on the screen? That who do you see on the internet or the picture you take that you want to compare with this? Now, look at yourself. Do you know the person that they told you will return? You don't know him. And this person will be with you and you have always not known. That's why when they go, many years, you will never see them because they will pay you off and how you also delivered yourself from their wrongs. Now, watch carefully as it is. A summary I told you it is, but now I'm taking it to this level that you should look at things carefully. That the Trojan prince is what? Who was adopted by what? Adopted ex Zeus. And I told you it's zealous, or you want to say Zeus. The Zeus, or you want to say Zeus. All this word came from what? What they are trying to say is synonyms and antonyms. Like they say you're trying to mention this. They have the same meaning, or they are similar or closer meaning. This is it. In the form of what? An eagle. That's why I show you USA. That's why they use eagle. Thank you very much. So they use eagle on their flags or things because that's a good master. So they know the good master, if not physical, they know the works. And they keep his symbols and life is just given. And that, we told you that is a word of spirit, long time you don't know. And that is it. For he that keepeth what you don't know. You'll be keeping vultures here. They are not keeping vultures like that. They are keeping what? Trojans. Maybe that which you want to say is righteous. And that eagle to become what? To become the cup bearer. And that when you heard many times the GX or the character of him that was begotten of what? Mizraim or Miriam, you were told what? He would leave the cup or the jar and pray and give thanks. And that of the gods on Mount Olympus. So to become what? To become the cupbearer of the gods on Mount Olympus. And in Konya, I have my own very section that is very beautiful. As you have never done this, where I was raised or where I descend, I have it already. So for the first time it ever happened. Yes, I made it. There are other myths associated with what? Aquarius, with Decalon, and you see the lion that they've been talking of. That is a lion of this, Judah or that. It wasn't really what we want to talk about, but having the connection with this name, that a Decalon, as you say right here, or the Decall. So when you say you are calling, this is the word. Also how they got the word call, to call somebody. That is it. Or the Kali. So it's the Dieu Kali or the Dieu Calion. And then in French, I told you, they call décalé. All of that. So these are words and language because it's once it's a spirit, that is original. Now watch carefully. Now the son of what? Prometheus or Prometheus. You know that there is a word in English that says promiscuous. All these words are the things they were saying. So that it reminds you, but you have it on the path that you are just going about promising people sleeping probably on them with them, or promising and just saying you will do this, and when the time comes, you say, no, I don't need you, I need another person. These are the things that say promiscuous. But here you see that Prometheus or Prometheus, watch carefully, who survived the deluge, or with what? Enki or AR. So the AR, which is the environmental or environmental agency on the computer monitor when you just started. Here it is. And that AI is a god. Enki is also a god. They are all like that. They are angels. That the Mesopotamian god of water and creation. So you see how the name of this god had led the US to water areas and ice and snow. These are all the things. You won't tell us you know better than what we're doing right now. That we should just give ourselves this time, and that is it. So the Ganim or the Ganimede or the Ganim Ede. So they have gym, the word gym from this word. So that they tell you when you gym, you become what, muscular, and then you say that I'm just giving you things out of it like that. Because I'm watching it, I know what it is. So they got the word gym. Gym is spelled what? Gym. That is gym. And that is what? Ganim Edis. That is meat. So the word gym, that's why you train, and definitely you become giant. Now, and the point one under this Ganim or whatever, yeah, we say what? Ganim Ede is what? Son of King Tros. Was known for what? His exceptional beauty. So the Lord is talking about beauty, beauty, beauty. He didn't say that he has sent somebody to go and bring him ugly, or somebody with any situation to bring to him. It's not like that. Now he says what? That Zeus, in what? In his also lustful desires, transformed into an eagle. So that's why you see US, you say sometimes you see that dressed in panties and bracelets, and just walking freely, because that is the place that they have, and you dare not touch people when you say it. The fact that you say it doesn't mean you have the right to touch anybody. That's where security, powers, and then law is enforced. The fact that you see anything you desire doesn't mean you can touch. That is a law-abiding spirit consciousness. So when you see an eagle, it means you are seeing the apostate. The apostate. That's why they say apostate. And then you say apostate or up state. All that connects with heavens. Then it said, and adopted Ganim Ede from what? Mount Ida, or Mount, a name called Lady Ida. You say how you show things without knowing it. He said where he was tending his father's flock. And then you say what? The shepherds in a garden. All this happens as it is. Now, in some version, Zeus sent the eagle to carry Ganim Ede. Look at the beauty of these words. While in others, it was what? Zeus himself in the guise of an eagle. So he could transform or change himself as that. Now watch carefully. Ganim Ede or Ganim Ede became Zeus' cupbearer, serving the gods with nectar. What is nectar? The sweet. So this is where we say the Holy Sweet, Holy Spirit. That if it's truly of spirit in Galatia, that the fruit of the Spirit is what? Is love. And love is in the vineyard. And that is where we have it. And the nectar of this is what? Flower part that is sweet. Which is telling you the original part of a what? Flower. Now, a task previously heard also what? X what? Heavy. That is a Hebe or Hebe. A goddess of youth. All they told you the archangels will ride in their youth. Or rise and fight for the youth. Now watch carefully who are these people in this action.